Hello, it's Medium Emary. Thank you so much for purchasing an Oracle card reading with me today. Today, the three Oracle card decks that we're going to use is Goddess of Guidance. So I'm going to pull out one card from Goddess of Guidance. I'm also going to pull out one card from Butterfly Life Changes, a life-changing deck of butterflies. So this deck is like beautiful pictures of butterflies. I'm also going to pull out, like, in regards to like future prospects, I'm going to pull out at least 3 cards from the Lemonard deck, which is Art of Novayu. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. It looks like a tarot deck, but it's not. It just has pictures and numbers on it, but it's really, really accurate, and I really enjoy working with it. It's a new deck I have, so if I'm a little bit slow when it comes down to the meanings of it, bear with me, okay? So before anything, I also am using an amethyst here for your reading for psychic divination. Focuses on relieving stress, anxiety, and at the same time being able to access the psychic abilities, etc. For me, it's more related to stress and just having more calmness whenever you feel like that anxiousness. I also have a tiger's eye, which represents grounding. So whenever you feel off balanced and you need grounding, a tiger's eye is really good to hold on to, okay? Alright, so I'm going to begin your reading. I'm going to do a little prayer. I am not religious, but I use the Our Father. So that's my way to protect the reading before and after. So I'm going to pray now and tune into your energy. Your information will be confidential, your name and where you're from. I will only go over your questions. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. I ask spirit guides and angels of the reader I'm reading for, may you come forth and come through to help me reveal to her today what she needs to know in this present time. I will only receive information from God's purest intention, God's white light. Anything of negative vibration, negative energy is not welcomed in this reading. I ask spirit guides of mine if you can help me interpret the information to the reader to the best of my ability. I also ask that the information that comes through may come in as accurate, detailed, and specific as possible. Anything of negative vibration or negative energy is not welcomed in this reading. I am open to receive. Thank you. Alright, so I am a channeler, so as I pull out cards, I will just start receiving information, and I'll just be telling you what I'm picking up. And if you can, after you watch this video, you can validate that information. It would be really, really helpful. Alright, so I'm going to just go over your questions and look at it again. Oh, it's so funny because I don't always remember what my clients write to me at the exact moment. I have to look back at it. So like I automatically picked up the tiger's eye, and your the first thing you wrote was, I would like guidance about love, confidence, staying grounded, and having an optimistic outlook and enjoying the moment. Definitely in regards to staying grounded, like I said, a tiger's eye would be really good. Doing things that involve the earth, so I would be like walking out in nature, meditating outside in nature, being barefoot, holding things that have to do with the earth, like rocks, things like that. A lot of visualization exercises are really good. So you can go through visualization exercises or meditations of yourself, imagining yourself as a tree, rooting your feet, becoming roots, and rooting yourself to the ground, like your roots going through the ground, and at the same time staying rooted as a tree, yet you're open to those higher forces, which is your intuition, higher self, but yet at the same time you're grounded. Okay? All right, let me look at this again. I'm also picking up you have a lot of anxiety and worry, so that can have a lot to do with staying grounded. You're a very airy person, so you're either always up here, you always have ideas, you always want to help somebody, you always want to you always want to brighten somebody's day, if that makes any sense. So it's hard for you to bring yourself down, to be grounded sometimes, because you're always up here. And definitely what I told you before would help. Okay, now in regards to being optimistic about life and enjoying each moment, it definitely has to be with being in the now. A lot of the times when people can't stay optimistic or have a positive outlook in the moment is because they're too much thinking about the past or the future, and that causes them to lose themselves from being in the now. And being in the now is what brings that optimistic and that brings that moment to moment, enjoying moment to moment kind of feeling. So again, that's a lot with dealing with the mind. So with dealing with the mind, meditation would work a lot. Meditation, visualization exercises as well. Learning to be in the moment. So for me, being in the moment, I do this exercise where when I feel like I'm thinking about the past or the future too much, I start naming what I see in front of me. So, for example, right now there's a computer in front of me. So say I see a computer, I see a wall, I see a closet, I see a candle, and that will help me bring myself back into the moment whenever I feel like I'm not being positive or I'm not having an optimistic outlook each moment to moment. Okay? Now, in regards to confidence, I definitely feel like it has a lot to do with the fact that you feel like you could do better. You feel like you could be in a better place where you are than where you are now. You feel like where you are now, you could have been further down, like how do I say it? It's not that you beat yourself up, but you always believe that you can do better, right? And that doesn't allow you to have the confidence that you've been wanting to have. And for me, Spirit's telling me to not beat yourself up about it, to really take into account that you've gone through a lot and to appreciate yourself because you've experienced a lot and you've come a long way. That's what Spirit's telling me. And to really don't put yourself down about that. To really pat yourself on the back for that, because you have done a lot. You have completed and achieved a lot of things. Sorry, my baby woke up, so I had to turn off the light so she doesn't wake up again, and I had to check up on her. So I'm back. I'm still here. All right. So what we were focusing on was the staying grounded and optimistic. So I gave you the example of visualization exercises and also the tiger's eye and not being in the past or future, being in the present. Okay? Now, in regards to being confident, I did say Spirit's telling me you have to appreciate yourself. You have to appreciate everything you've gone through. And you may be feeling like you can do better and be farther than where you are now, or you thought you were going to be somewhere else now than where you were, if that makes any sense, I guess, on an emotional level. And the universe doesn't want you to beat yourself up about that or to get discouraged about that. They want you to appreciate this progress that you've done, all these things that you've done along the path, because Spirit's really proud of you. And I very much feel that energy, that spirit of there's this energy with you, this like warrior fierce energy from you, like goddess warrior fierce energy I get from you, like being independent, being strong. And spirit definitely doesn't want you to like forget that side of you or lose that side of you, you know what I mean, to continue being like that. All right. Love, definitely. I'm gonna pull out a card from Art of Nova You in regards to love, and I'll tell you what I'm feeling with love as well. So in regards to staying confident, having your confidence is to appreciate yourself more, appreciate this journey you've been through where you've achieved a lot. It's been a steady progress, yet maybe now you feel like you could have done better than where you were, or you thought you would be in a different place by now. Know that everything is meant to be. You're supposed to be where you are right now, and to not beat yourself up about it. Pat yourself on the back because you've achieved a lot of things and you've done a lot of things already. And Spirit wants you to acknowledge that, okay? That's how Spirit says that you can keep your confidence, that knowing that you've done a lot and you're still learning, and that all because of that progress you've done, you're going to attract more and it's going to get better, okay? That's how you have to think, and that's how you have to feel to continually keep that confidence, okay? Also has to do with believing in yourself. I feel you believe in yourself though, so that's not an issue. It's more of not beating yourself up about your progress, you know, like believing that, oh, like I can be in a, you know, I can do better, and you know, I didn't think I would be where I am now. You have to appreciate yourself, appreciate this progress you've done, okay? Even if you feel like it's not everything that you could have done or where you thought you would be by now, but it is what's meant to be right now, okay? All right, so in 1 month I will be traveling to Europe for the first time. I'm going to Berlin with my friend for a week, and my return trip is for 3 months later. Alright, before I get into that and I focus more and tune into that, I'm going to pull out a card from Goddess of Guidance in regards to staying confident, staying grounded, and your whole having an optimistic outlook and enjoying the moment, okay? Like I said again, once you know how to be in the now, you're definitely going to be able to have that optimistic outlook and just enjoy moment to moment. It's being in the now and having that confidence and appreciating yourself. It all ties in. It's like a tree, like I told you, and then the roots, it all ties in, okay? So I'm gonna pull out a card for that. Sorry if it's so dark, it's just I had my Himalaya salt lamp on and it was waking up my daughter, so it's funny because you got Cordella, and it's really interesting because we're talking about staying grounded, correct? And I did tell you one of the ways you can do that is hanging out with nature, being around the earth more. And it's very interesting because you got go outside. You have been indoors too long. Go outside and get some fresh air. So that is a definite way to stay grounded. Being with the earth, appreciating the outer sources of nature, and that fresh air will definitely bring you back to balance, because it's that balance you need. Okay? All right. So I'm going to read over In 1 month I will be traveling to Europe for the first time. I'm going to Berlin with my friend for a week, and my return trip is for 3 months. You're definitely going to enjoy Berlin. I feel a lot of like goodness coming out of this trip to Berlin. You're going to fall in love with Berlin. With my friend for a week, and my return trip for 3 months later. I'm making plans after Berlin as I go along. I'm not sure where I would like to live. I may try to stay in Europe, return to Chicago, where I'm from. Okay, alright, so I'm really definitely picking up you're not going to go back to Chicago. I don't feel you're going to go back to the States. Now, I feel like you'll go back to the States to either pick up some stuff or to get some papers or some things in order at some point. But I don't feel like you're gonna stay there. Like your stuff are just, I feel like your stuff is just gonna be on hold in Chicago. Like you'll go visit and then you'll go back. So for some reason, the places that I'm picking up a lot, now I don't know if you said Europe, so it has to be in Europe. I don't even know if this place is in Europe, but I'm picking up like Norway or Sweden. Like I don't even know if Sweden's a country. Sweden, I'm gonna search that up. I'm so sorry, I'm so bad with my geographic stuff. Yeah, okay. I'm definitely picking up 3 places for you. I'm picking up Norway, alright? I'm picking up Sweden, and I'm definitely picking up New Zealand. I don't know why I'm picking up New Zealand, but I'm very much picking up New Zealand with you. I don't know if that's like a bucket list thing you've been wanting to visit or think about, but that's very much, I feel like, there's a strong connection with that place with you. If you don't have one now, when you go there, you will have a strong connection. But I definitely see you living in Norway and Sweden for some time. Yeah, I feel like that's going to be one of your places you're going to live. I definitely feel like you're going to fall in love with Berlin, but definitely I feel like a lot of Norway or Sweden, okay? But I also feel a huge connection to New Zealand, all right? A huge connection with New Zealand. So please keep that in mind. Like I said, you will go back to Chicago. I think you'll be there a little bit temporarily, and then you'll go back. So like either you'll pick up some stuff, visit some people, visit some friends, some family, and then you'll go back. Now I want to ask you, because obviously I don't know much about your life. I mean, I see your profile picture, but I keep on picking up a lot of teaching traits from you, being a teacher, working with either children or adults, being a teacher. And I also seen you at some point, if you're in Norway or Sweden, teaching either English or teaching something. It could be I don't know, I see you like kind of like a teacher, either giving insight, like a life coach. I don't even know if it's a life coach. For me, it's just a teacher. Okay, so it's teaching something, and I'm very much feeling like you have a lot of good attributes towards that. Okay. I'm also picking up a lot of massaging with you. So I don't know if you've done massage therapy or something with, I don't know if it's Reiki, but there's something with massaging. So like dealing with massaging, or it could be even Reiki or energy work, but something with massaging in the body. I'm picking that up a lot with you. Okay, you're very good with your hands. You have a lot of healing attributes when it comes down to your hands. I'm picking up a lot of medical with you. So like medicine, things that have to do with healing, like herbs, things that have to do with actual like the body, taking care of the body, helping people with the body. So for me, that's like holistic. Keep on picking up like holistic. All right. And I don't know why, but you have a huge connection with plants. Like I keep on seeing plants. And if you don't now, you're very much in tune with plants. So that's either healing medicine, plants, herbal, natural things. It's like coming through a lot very strongly with your energy. And also, okay, you wanted to ask me about writing. Okay. I definitely feel like Spirit's telling me you're a channeler with writing. So it's like when you go into writing, you like get into like a trance where it's just like all this stuff can come out. Sometimes you're like, how does that come out? Like, oh my God, where did that come from? Etc. I feel like you're good with writing, but I feel like you either judge it too much or you don't have enough confidence in it. And I'm feeling like obviously Spirit's saying you have to have enough more confidence in it and believe in your writing more. Okay, you have to believe in it more. And I do feel like it's good. You just have to believe in it more. So it's like since you don't believe in it as much, it doesn't have that full potential that it should have. Okay. there's something I'm picking up, like you have like an idea or this new invention or like a new idea or a new practice or like form of, I don't know if it's a spiritual thing, but you have this new idea or like a new process that you came up with or you've been thinking in your head and you've been wanting to talk about with people or write about, or it's really weird. I can't pinpoint exactly what it is, but there's something, you have like this thought that's like an invention of a new process, a new spiritual practice, a new way of teaching, a new way of helping. There's something that you have that, and my spirit's telling me to talk about it because it's a good idea. It's a good invention. It's a good process, a spiritual practice or whatever. I don't know if it's like a process, a way of processing emotions, a way of processing negative feeling, a way of processing something. It's like a new invention you created, okay? A new thought, a new idea. And your spirit is really telling me to like make it real, like actually talk to people about it or write about it. I don't know if you was thinking about writing about it, this process or this concept that you have, but write about it, okay? I don't know if you have the concept yet, but I'm feeling like you will think of this concept or this new invention. Like, how do you say it? You know how Teal Swan has like the concept of the completion process? You have this other concept of something else. I don't know if it's similar to it, but there's something else. It's like another way of helping people emotionally or helping. I don't know if it's something spiritual, but it's something there that they're telling me to write about it. So, and it'll be really good, okay? And it's interesting because you have a lot of, I don't know why, but I keep on picking up a cookbook. So I don't know if you like cooking or you've thought about writing a cookbook or like a cookbook about healthy food or something like that. I don't know if you like cooking or not, but there's something about a cookbook, all right? Because I feel like it's not just one specific thing you want to write about. There's like a bunch of things you want to write about. And it's very interesting because you have really good ideas for all these things, okay? All right, so I'm going to pull out a card now from Butterfly Life Changes. I'm going to have to read off the guidebook for this because I don't use this deck very much, but again, I'm a channeler, so I just tell you what I'm feeling. I don't know why I'm feeling a huge connection with elephants with you. Elephants. So if you, you know, elephants is a good symbolic, like, animal that you could call upon, like an animal spirit guide, an elephant. I keep on picking that up with you, all right? Beautiful. So this is very, very interesting. So you got the card Decisions. So it's funny because you're talking to me about your decisions. You want to know what you should decide, your decisions, okay? So I'm going to read off the guidebook on this because it's much more thorough. I love the colors of the butterfly in this picture. You drew this card because you're wrestling with a decision and are unsure which way to go. Your divine guidance has been attempting to show you the best path, so you already have the answer in your heart. Deep down, you know the right direction, yet fears are holding you back from taking action based on this wise resolution. This card reminds you to trust your inner knowingness and ask yourself, which path brings me closer to my life purpose? What would love do in this situation? Sometimes this card appears because you've been avoiding making a necessary decision. If so, you're being reminded that not making a decision is a decision. Since you've decided to allow things to remain the same, similarly, if you're trying to choose between two options, there may very well be a better third option for you. Pray for clear guidance, notice and trust the signs. Very interesting. So it's definitely letting you know your guides and your angels are with you on this decision, this big, huge journey decision that you're making, and that you know more than what you think you don't know if that makes any sense. You know more than you know. You actually have this intuition, this guidance system that your heart knows what's best for you. So deep down, you may need guidance, but the answer is within yourself. So that is what the card is referring to. But based on these decisions, I definitely feel like I said you're going to stay in Europe. I do feel like you're going to stay in Europe. And you're going to either teach or something of that nature. All right? I don't know what you'll teach, but something that you're going to be dealing with people. So it's more of like you're going to be teaching or talking to people about something. All right? But I do see you going to Chicago just to like, it's like a temporary thing, just to pick up stuff or talk to people or make arrangements or something like that. All right? So I'm going to pull out some cards in regards to your future. Now I'm going to see what I can focus on. I think I'm going to pull out a card from Whispers of Love for the love situation. But this, I think I'll just pull it out for where you are right now. So your past, present, future, right? Alright. So I'm going to read off of this really quickly. Interesting. So the first card you got was Birds, which is number 12. It's upside down. When this comes through, it means that in your past, so this is your past card, in your past, what you thought was meant for you, you then realized it wasn't. You had these different ideas, you had this different outlook on life, you had this different goal and this different idea of what you want to do, and this was your plans and stuff, but then you realized otherwise it wasn't for you, and now you're realizing you can seek other options for your life. All right, so that's what it's saying about the path, your past, hun. Okay, all right. And number 13 says girl. It's interesting. So in your present situation, number 13, it says you had the moment where you were enjoying yourself, you're having a great time. It's saying some breakup ended. So I don't know if you were in a relationship recently or a couple months back. I'm not sure if you were in love. It's just saying something that was born then ended. So you're kind of like, let me see here. Yeah. So it ended, all right? I think, I'm not sure, recently or in the past. And you're kind of in this place now where it's like north, south, west, east. It doesn't mean anything to you right now. You're like all over the place, you know, none of that means anything to you anymore. It's like you don't have a direction like north, west, south, east. It's like you're just in the now. Now what I mean that in the now, like you're just going with the flow, like you're going with the air. You're not like really having a plan. All right? And it's interesting because that's what you said. You're kind of like a nomad now. So this card's saying you once had like a breakup. So I don't know what breakup it was, if it was recent, but that's very much coming through. And then also those plans that you had in the past, that you thought that was your actual path, you then realized it wasn't, so you're seeking other options in your path. And now this card's saying, in regards to breakup also, that your north, south, east don't mean anything anymore. There's no north or east or south for you. There's no like direction. There's no navigational GPS map right now. Okay? Alright, so that's in the present moment right now. Now 30. So now this is a card of Lily. For me it represents, I think this is a love reading, because I was going to pull out a card for you from the Whispers of Love, but this is definitely focusing on love and feeling and also focusing on your emotional state right now. So, all right, so I'm gonna like say it like a story. So these are the 3 cards you have. All right. It says, in your past, you had a concept, you had an idea of what your goal was going to be, what you were going to do, all these things. You then realized it wasn't meant for you. You then started questioning, oh, is this really my purpose, etc. You then realized it wasn't part of your path, so you're seeking you then realized you want to seek other options. Then in your present, I don't know if you recently had a breakup, but it's talking about a love that was once now already ended, so it's not non-existent anymore, okay? And that also now you're kind of like, I wouldn't say lost, but you're just in this state where you have no direction. So north, east, south, and west don't mean anything to you right now. You have no GPS system, all right? That's your present moment right now. And then your future says, for me, it's don't lose faith in love, to keep at it, you know? Love comes and goes, and I feel like definitely that last relationship you had was for a season. I feel like it affected you, but I feel like you knew you had it coming. Like you knew, like you had a feeling about it already before it ended, all right? And it's just saying to have faith in love. I don't feel like you'll ever be close to love, but to really appreciate this time you have with yourself and focus on your own needs right now and love your body, love yourself, love your mind and your heart. And within that, you'll just naturally attract the love that you want in your life, okay? So it's telling me just to have faith in love and to really meet your needs before meeting anyone else's needs. But I don't feel like this is something I need to tell you, because I feel like this is something you already know. This is something that you're very aware of. And that's what I mean by that fierce goddess warrior that you have within yourself, that you like you're right now like a nomad, you say, but deep down you still have an idea of who you are. You understand, you know who you are, but you don't have really like this direction to take, if that makes any sense, okay? So that is what I'm picking up for your past, present, and future overall general aspect, all right? So now I'm going to pull out a card from Whispers of Love, hun, and then after that I'm going to answer your last question, which is how can I communicate with my spirit guides more, okay? Hold on one second. I'm going to get the deck because I forgot to get it. Sorry, it's really early in the morning here. It's like 6 in the morning actually. But I had so many readings I had to complete. I felt bad that I promised you that I would give it to you tonight, and so I'm gonna try to give it to you as soon as possible. Alright, so I'm gonna pull out a card for you from Whispers of Love. This focuses on love, not just romantically, but love in general. Alright, so I'm gonna pull out a card for you here. Anyways, from your last relationship, I really do feel like you guys had different wants out of life. I feel like it was a nice relationship, but I feel like you guys had different wants. You guys were gonna part ways naturally, eventually. So it was, for me, it was just a season. Alright, so beautiful. So it says, turn on your heart light. Allow yourself in this moment to reflect on a time when you experienced love. Look how beautiful. So I'm very much feeling that Spirit's saying that they want you to use this time to reevaluate how you see love, what you want out of love now. You know, what you'll put up with, what you won't, what you will put up with, what you won't put up with. And it's interesting because if you look at the girl, she has these feathers and she looks very free-spirited and wild and just, and I feel like that's very much you. very much you, very much. You were once tamed. I feel in your past you were like, how do I say it? You weren't like your real self. You were like this fake version of you, or like this version of you that wasn't you. And now you're coming more into, you're connecting more with that wild fire within you. That's this like free spirited person, you know? And that's you right there. It's literally saying to turn on your heart light. Don't lose that light that you have within yourself. Like I said in that last card, don't lose faith. It's very much saying that, but yet at the same time, use this time to reevaluate that love you experienced, the love you experienced, because that will allow you to know more what you want out of relationships. You know, sometimes we need to be by ourselves to then realize what kind of love we want to attract new in our life, in the next phase or in the next cycle of you know, a new partnership. Okay, I'm gonna read off the guidebook for that too. I hope I can get it. All right, it's number 36. It says, thinking of love moments will enable you to open your heart. You see? Taking time to draw on a memory of love reopens and heals your heart to receiving love. It is important to keep your heart light on and broadcast your love out into the world. Yes, so Spirit doesn't want you to close your heart to love, to keep it open. Now, if you can't give your love, obviously, now to somebody, because there's nobody in your life right now, give it to others. Give it to friends. Just spread that love out, and that will leave your heart light on. You need to leave it on. Turn it on. If it's off, turn it on, and that will allow you to attract that love that you want. All right? It's really, really cool. It's a really beautiful card. Okay? So now I'm going to tune into your last question, which is, how can I communicate with spirit guides more easily? Now, from my experience, I know my spirit guides are with me. I talk to them all the time. But it's not like I know what their name is. I had an idea of what their name was in the beginning, but I do feel like our spirit guides change constantly. All right? And the best way to communicate with your spirit guides is literally ask them, talk to them. I wouldn't say there's an easy way of communicating with them, because as you communicate with them more, you create this relationship and this bonding with them to the point where it's like, you know, it's them talking to you. You get that instant feeling. It's like, oh, it's them, you know? Like I said, again, when you receive information from spirit guides, angels, it's more of a thought process. So it's not like you actually hear a voice, you know? It's more of like your head, your thoughts in your head talking to you, kind of like when you go do grocery shopping, you're like, oh, I need to buy milk, or things like that. That's kind of what it's like when they talk to you. It's an instant feeling or an instant thought. All right? But definitely spirit guides communicate in signs, in nature. If you need to talk to them out loud. I think out loud's the best. In your head, it works, but talking out loud's the best. Like, literally, talk to them. Be like, how are you today? You know? What should I know today? Send me a sign today. I'm trying to make this decision, but I'm not sure if it's the right one. Send me a sign, and if I get a sign, that means I should do this, or if I shouldn't. And it's basically just creating a relationship with them. The more you talk to them, the more they're going to connect with you. That's my answer to that. And then it's like a knowing. So when it's like you ask them, you could eventually start asking them questions through your thought process, and you automatically get a yes or no. It's like instant. Okay, so for me, it's just creating a bonding with them. So another way also can be like, I don't know if you meditate a lot, but if you do, you can meditate, and you could start it off like this, because I know it's hard to receive sometimes just openly. You could just imagine that you're walking, you know, you're going down a path in your meditation, you're walking to a temple, and in that temple you're going to meet your spirit guides. And when you get there, you're going to meet them, and when you meet them, you're going to see how they look, you're going to see how they act, you're going to see how they talk to you, You could ask them questions. So in the beginning, it's going to feel like you're imagining it, but eventually at some point, it's just going to be just happening, and all this information is just going to come through. And eventually, that is going to be actual real information and real guidance from them. So I would say the best way to communicate with them easily is to create more of a relationship, like as friends. Ask them how they're doing and talk to them every day. I would say the best thing is to talk to them every day. Talk to them every day. All right? The thing is, I think I've told you this in the last reading. You have a lot of Native American, I would say Native American, a lot of Native American, ancestors with you, like in spirit. Now, it could be due to a lot of past lives. I pick up a lot of Native American with you. It's really intense, actually. And, just know that. So I feel like a lot of your spirit guides are Native American. And I also feel you have a lot of angelic beings around you as well. So it's it's a combination. So it's funny because they're telling me they've been talking to you and you've spoken to them already, but you don't talk to them as much, and they want you to keep it frequent, they said, you know? And if you are talking to them a lot, it's either you're just kind of feeling like they're just not answering or something, but they're saying they've been hearing you, they've been talking to you, but you don't talk to them as much. So try to talk to them more and do that meditation thing I said. It really helps. Really starting off first, imagining you're walking down a path, going into a temple, and when you get to the temple, you're going to meet them, you're going to see how they look, they're going to tell you their names, etc. All right? I'm going to just see if I receive anything else. I'm feeling very, and I'm picking up, I know this, so this is the places, all right? I definitely see you living in Norway or Sweden, around there, okay? And I'm really picking up a huge connection with you for New Zealand and Ireland, all right? It can even be Scotland, but those places, so Scotland, Ireland, I'm picking up a lot of Celtic energy from you. So for me, you have a lot of Native American and Celtic, okay? So there's a lot of Celtic, ancestry with you as well. It could be past lives or even actual ancestry. Celtic. So for me, that's mystical things that have to do with fairies and folklore, and that's why I pick up probably a lot of medicine and herbal things from you, because I was very much picked up in those times. So that's something you could connect with, a lot of the Celtic culture and Native American culture. All right, that's why I feel like you have a strong connection to New Zealand or Ireland or even Scotland. So, but I see you living in Norway and Sweden. But I then eventually see you, if you don't visit those places, the ones that I said, New Zealand, Ireland, Scotland, you eventually will, because there's a strong connection there. But I see you living in Norway or Sweden, in that kind of area. All right. If not, you can live in New Zealand and Scotland or Ireland. Maybe that's why I'm picking up those things, but I don't think that's Europe. But I see you staying in Europe. All right. Okay. So I'm going to leave you with that, hun. I think this video is very long. I'm sorry if it's been very long. When I'm channeling, I just start picking up and rambling on and on. So I really much hope you enjoyed this reading. Please, if you can, leave me a written review on my page and like my page. It would mean a lot to me. Please let me know your thoughts and validations about this reading afterwards. And I hope you have a great day, a great night. Many blessings. Namaste. Bye.